Another escape, a short story for your enjoyment. It was all quiet in the theater as Michelle took her seat, all excited for seeing her best friend's big screen movie debut. Her friend Sarah was playing the part of a covert spy operative. Usually these parts are played by men. Slowly but surely, Hollywood was coming around to the 21st century. She took a sip of her soda and started getting sleepy. She figured it must have been from working the night shift and only being able to get 4 hours of sleep. She wanted to watch the afternoon showing of her friend's movie and not deal with the large crowds that would surely be there for opening night. But those night shifts are a killer, and she's been looking for other work. She realized quickly she wasn't cut out for working nights, but she needed the job. The next thing Michelle knew, she woke up, tied to a chair. At least that's what she thought it was, due to the fact that the room was dark. Or no, it was a hood over her head. She tried to call out, but found something was over her mouth. Panic set in as she strained against her bindings and her muffled screams against whatever was gagging her. She heard the creaking of a door opening. When you're tied up and blindfolded, those creaking doors sound right out of the B-level horror flicks. And then a floating sensation, and she knew she was being lifted and carried to wherever he planned to take her. Michelle put up as valiant a struggle as she could, but she was tied too tight, and whoever was carrying her was too strong for her to overcome, even if she wasn't. The next sound that reached her ears was the rumbling of an engine. She couldn't tell if it was a car or boat until she heard water lapping against a dock. "You're going to your forever home," a male voice said as soon as she was set down. "As long as you take good care of him, he'll take very good care of you." Minutes later, the boat moved, and she continued to strain against her bindings. After what seemed like an eternity, things started loosening, and she renewed her hope that she would get herself free. Further into the journey, she got the bindings on her arms loose enough that she could slide them out of the ropes. Her first move was to take the hood and duct tape off her mouth before untying her legs. She tried the door to the room she was in and found it was locked from the outside. Michelle was just about to try to bash the door open with the chair she was tied to when footsteps approached and keys dangled outside the door. She quickly got back in the seat, put the ropes over her arms and legs to make it look like she was still tied to the chair, and put the hood back on her head. She slumped her head down, feigning unconsciousness. She was going to give whoever was holding her captive the shock of his life. The creak of the door opening was again something out of the B-grade horror movies, and she got ready, going over in her mind what she was going to do. She steeled her jaw at the sound of the heavy footsteps of the man as he walked into the room. As soon as the man's hand touched her shoulder, the hood came off her head, and Michelle jumped up and put her full weight into the knee strike to the man's groin, followed up with an elbow strike to the back of his head, sending the man to the floor unconscious. Michelle secured his wrists and ankles with the rope that she was tied with. "How does it feel to be on the receiving end of it?" she asked the unconscious man. She searched him for a weapon and found a gun, left the room and found one other man, forced him to surrender at gunpoint. Then she radioed a distress call, giving the emergency dispatcher her GPS coordinates. Free from captivity, another win for the good guys and girls. If you like that short story, subscribe to my channel and hit the like button. And don't forget to check out other places I've posted links in the description.